I was attracted to danger. Attracted to doing like the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. That it gave me a thrill. I got arrested at 10 years old. Vandalism, like I basically smashed up a car.
What does that look like, turning pro from an amateur? How does it happen?
I was standing over the side of the ring from him. I'm thinking, it doesn't look real. Like, it didn't look real that I was in the ring fighting Sergio Martinez. And there's not a second go by where boxing won't be on my mind. I was just obsessed. I was the first in and the last out, even as a young kid.
When did you get introduced to money? Because a lot of people don't talk about this in boxing, but I know that a lot of boxers don't make good money.
Yeah, the boxers are British world champions and they still have to work. It's honestly, it's like the top 1% don't make enough money where they don't have to work again. Because it was never about the money. Never once was it about the money. As an 8-year-old kid, when I went to the gym, did I think about money? Did I think about everyone knowing my name? Did I think about having a bloody blue tick or anything? None of that mattered. I didn't care about anyone's opinion. Why did I do it? Because I just loved doing it. I don't know how I carried on boxing after my son was born. Obviously, he had brain damage. I don't know how I can put that aside and still carry on doing what I'm doing.
From Wythenshawe, Manchester, Macaulay Mcgowan!
So today we are joined by pro boxer Macaulay Mcgowan. Got a good record, mate. 27 fights. You had 25 wins.
No.
Right. 20 wins.
Yeah, 20 wins,
Right.
5 losses, 2 draws. I think the draw should have been wins, though.
Fucking hell, mate. I was going to start the interview again, but I tell you what, let's just run with it. Look. But obviously you've had 60 amateur fights and all that.
Yeah.
Your story, mate, I know I had a guy on recently who told us to get you on, and I know your story's, it's mad. But for the people who don't know, where did you grow up, mate?
I grew up in Wythenshawe, where we are today, just literally down the road. Yeah, it was quite an experience. But I weren't a bad lad, but I could be bad. Do you know what I mean? And luckily I found myself in the boxing gym very early.
What was school like for you, Macaulay?
School, you know what? I was a proper clever kid, you know.
Oh yeah.
So like, it used to really annoy the teachers when I was naughty or doing something that I shouldn't have, because they were like, "You're a clever kid, why are you doing that?" But I was attracted to danger, attracted to doing like the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. That it gave me a thrill. But then at the same time, I was smart enough to know when to kind of rein it in a bit.
What were you like on the, like, sort of growing up outside of school? Were you involved in just street shit and that?
No, I kind of got nipped in the bud early. I remember being at school once, and I remember the deputy head coming up to me and said, "This is the 5th fight you've had today." Well, 5th incident, he said. But he meant like a fight. And my mate still calls me about it now. And the head of year, well, the headmaster, he blamed it on my haircut. He went, "Is it because you got a skinhead?" Was it because I got a new skinhead? He thought I was bad. But then I moved to a place called Benchill. And luckily I did find the gym, but I was also like playing out a lot as well. And I remember getting arrested at 10. Yeah, I got arrested at 10 years old.
For what?
Vandalism, like I basically smashed up a car. Me and a load of other lads.
Just for the crack, or did you have anger problems?
Well, no, so it's funny really. I was in year 5 and I went to school that day and I told the teacher to F off and ran off and went missing all day. And then I went and hid in the brook, like just to make me scared, like that I shouldn't know where I was. Anyway, found out where I was. I went home. And then later on that night, my mate knocked on for me and he went, "Oh, coming to play out." And Mum said, "Right, you stay on the front. You should be grounded really, but you can stay on the front." So I said, "Okay." And I seen a load of the older lads, like I was 10. The older lads were like 15, 16, who were like the bad lads. They were like up to no good. So we thought, "What are they doing?" Ran down and they were like, "We're happy about this car being in a certain place." And they were trying to like, I don't know, just smash it up, just something to do. I don't know. So then I got involved, and then a couple of days later I got arrested for it.
So when did we introduce to boxing?
I was actually introduced to boxing. I was a couple of years before this, when I was 9.
Right. Okay.
Or well, I was about 8 or 9, due to a friend on the road. But my dad had boxed, you see.
Right.
So as soon as my friend said he boxed for Jimmy Egan's, but I was, "Oh yeah, that's who I used to box for." And then I went.
That's local here and all, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just right down Liquid Corner. Well, it's actually at the bottom of the road now, but it was at Crossacres School when I went,
Right.
which is a bit further away, about a mile away.
And what was your experience like when you first stepped in there? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Did you want to do it? Why did you even do it anyway? Like, what was
Right. I had this thing, yeah, where I wanted to be good at something, but I didn't know what. So, like, in the sports day, my mate Dougie, yeah, he was always going to be faster than me. And I used to think to myself, objectively, as like a 6-7-year-old kid, I used to, well, if I train running and he trains running, he's still always going to be faster than me. And the same like the stronger kids with like the throwing and whatnot. But then I thought, I'm all right at fighting because I would scrap a bit. So I went there and it was just like something about it. You didn't have to be the strongest, the fastest, the fittest, the biggest or whatever, but you could find a strategy to win. And that's what drew me towards it. And the fact that I went to the gym and Jimmy Egan was dead warming towards us. Old Jimmy is dead now, but yeah, he's dead warming to us. He knew I was Kevin's son. So
Did you know you had a bit of a talent for it?
no, I still don't think I've got a talent for it now.
Well, you have, though, eh? You know, a pro boxer with a record like yours, it's not to be sniffed at, is it?
I was obsessed with it, you know.
Well, yeah.
I was literally obsessed. There's not a second go by where boxing won't be on my mind. I was just obsessed. I was the first in and the last out, even as a young kid.
Were you a fan of the sport as well? Like, did you used to watch it?
Beforehand,
Aye.
I weren't much of a fan, no.
Well, you know.
I remember watching it in the morning with my dad once, and I said, Dad, why are they always hugging each other? And he told me to shut up because I was doing his head and asking him loads of questions, but it was dead boring. I just wanted to put Cramp Twins on or something, wherever the show was at the time. But yeah, but when I started it, I absolutely loved it.
Were you told you had a bit of a, like, you should stick it out? Or was it more of a your choice thing?
It was my choice. My mum never forced me. My dad did the best thing. He said, when I take him to the gym, he left me to go in the gym, never got involved because he thought, right, you're in safe hands there, leave you to it. And that was the end of it. Mum always supported me, but she never forced me to do it. I mean, but sometimes she wished I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. So, I never really got told I had a talent, no, but I knew that they were fond of me at the gym because I was always there, I was dedicated, I was always training hard. I was always like encouraged for my work ethic, really. Did
it get you popularity in school as well? Like, there's always that. I asked Josh Kelly the same question, to be fair. And when you're known as the lad who boxes, they're always like, oh, he's the boxer. And like, were you known as that lad, or was it something you just kept to yourself in private outside of school? Like,
no, everyone knew I was a boxer.
yeah.
Like, we go barbers, we call me Rocky. That was it. I was like, oh, that was it. My name was Rocky. Oh, there's Rocky. This, that, and the other. But yeah, I probably did get away. I probably was popular at school due to boxing. I don't know if because I was confident and I could. People always say, oh, you're getting less fights as a boxer because you can handle yourself. But I think it's more the fact that you're confident in a hostile situation. So, because you're brave and you're quite confident, you're getting less fights or whatever. Whereas people sense fear, I think that's when they go for you. Whereas if you don't show any fear, for some reason, the paradox of it is you have less fights.
So, were you ever tested though? Like, did that ever come across?
No, not really. I had a few fights due to the disagreeing with each other, but never like because you're a boxer, let's have a fight. I mean, I'm sure some people thought it, but it never come across. But back to the other question, was I popular at school because of boxing? I always make a joke saying my missus, who I'm still with today, she never got with me until I won the junior ABAs. And they got me up in assembly for boxing for England. So and then all of a sudden she was interested. I was friend zoned for 10 years and all of a sudden I won the junior. So
have you been with her since?
Yeah, married now.
How old are you now?
30.
That's mad.
Been with my wife. Well, she was my wife 4 years ago, but I've been with her since 15.
Yeah, congrats, mate. That's a rare thing these days, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when did you start to develop your amateur career? When was it a thing when you're like, look, I'm going to actually start taking this a bit more serious now and I want to have a few fights and I want to get involved?
You know what it was? If someone had beat me in a spar, I think, or if someone like my own age group was beating me in a spar, I thought, wow, how are they beating me? So I'd like just obsessed to be better. And then you get to a point where you kind of know you're going to box. But I didn't actually know that amateur boxing was 3 rounds. I remember Jimmy Egan, he always used to go, yeah, that's why we're the fittest, because in the 3rd round, we'll still be going for it. And I thought, 3 rounds? 12-round fights? So I didn't understand that it was only 3 rounds. But yeah, by the time I was 10, I remember Jimmy Egan's, they give you an orange top to mean that you're like ready to box or you get in there. So I got an orange t-shirt. Green t-shirt was like you're a beginner. Orange meant you were on your way. And a red one meant that you'd boxed. So I had an orange one, so I knew I was getting there. So I was medicaled at like 10, and then I had my first amateur fight 2 weeks after my 11th birthday.
What was that like? You remember your first fight?
Yeah, I got absolutely battered.
Did you?
Yeah. A guy called Yasser Iqbal, still see him about now. His dad's a judge. He was from Amir Khan's gym, Bury ABC, and I remember seeing like the maroon and gold colours. And like Amir Khan had just been to, I think it was the year before, he'd done the amazing at the Olympics. So that I was very thinking, oh my God, I'm fighting someone from Amir Khan's gym. Anyway, turned out to be true. He just ran out and punched me head in. And I was just hanging on for dear life. And I remember Steve Foster Senior, I think it was, he was handing out trophies. It was at Lee ABC, their home show. And he went, stick out, son. And I got out, yeah. And I was just buzzing. I thought, I'll never have to do that again. I don't know why I thought that. I thought, I've completed it now. Never have to do it. I've had my fight. That's it. I'll never have to do it again.
Were you put off then a little bit just by that battering?
Nah, I wasn't put off. I was just like, it was how hard, like, tired I was.
Right.
And I just thought, phew, that's like a chapter of my life over with. I'll never have to do it again. And then I'm still here now, 20 years later.
So how did you fare across your amateur career?
I won about, so I had 60 odd. I lost about 15. I won junior ABAs, boxed for England, got to the finals a few times, boxed some decent kids on the way. Yeah, but I went pro very young. I was 18, turning 19 when I went professional.
So for the people who are watching and listening who don't know, what does that look like, turning pro from an amateur? How does it happen?
Well, basically you try and find a pro gym or you approach whoever about it, try and get a manager. But then you have to go to the British Boxing Board of Control, ask for a form, send that form off. They'll get back to you, and then you've got to go for a meeting. And usually, if you've had a few amateur fights, you'll have your medical card. You'll give that to anyone who always had 60 odd fights, boxed for England. He's quite competent. But if you haven't, then they kind of like, they're on you pretty bad.
So would you say it was easy to get you pro?
Yeah, because I'd had like 60 amateur fights.
So you were already kind of passed the test.
Whereas like Amphibian, who was on before me, he's never had an amateur. Well, he had a few amateur fights. Sorry, I think he had 3. He had to go through a lot of strenuous testing. He had to test it. I think they knocked him back at one stage, told him to go back and have some amateur fights. So I think they are quite stringent on it now.
Did your mindset change, Macaulay, when you became pro? Were you like, this is it now? Or did you feel the same?
I did kind of feel the same, yeah.
Did you?
Because I was always very, very dedicated. There was a different, but I remember like sparring as a pro thinking, wow, this is hard. Like I remember knowing like this is a very, very hard situation. Like it's a lot different to amateurs. I remember knowing that and feeling that and thinking, questioning, is this something I want to continue with? And obviously I did.
What was it about that made you question it? Was it the level of commitment required, like the sacrifices? Because surely having 60 amateur fights, mate, you're still dedicated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're committed. There's probably a lot of things you weren't doing what your other mates were getting into. How did you, what was the difference in that? What kind of made you question it? And how committed were you, like, as an amateur when you were going through that kind of ranking system, if you like? What did you ever question the sacrifice you were making? Like, am I doing it? Because you're a young lad, mate. Like, most people want to be on the street just getting up to no good.
Yeah.
But for you to have that mindset at that age, where the fuck does that come from?
I don't actually know. I don't know. I think about this all the time, and now I'm 30, and I think about those teenage years as an amateur boxer. I think I was under anxiety a lot. I used to go to school, right, thinking about the gym at night. And I think, I still question now, was it worth it? Like, I give up a lot of, like, time for, obviously, I've got the memories and I can say I give it me all and I'm doing it. But, like, was the reward, like, enough? I tell kids now, go and enjoy your life. Box at night, do your running or whatever you got to do outside the gym, but enjoy it as well. Whereas I used to go to school with bad anxiety, thinking about, at gym tonight, I've got to make sure I give it my hardest 100%. If I've got to do this, if I don't perform well at the gym tonight, then oh, God knows no point me doing it. Same with the 6 weeks holidays, we do like a 5-6 mile run. That was like our like base fitness for the season coming. I wouldn't play out. 6 weeks holidays just wouldn't play out. I was that scared of like not having enough energy to complete the run that I wouldn't play out. I sat, mate. I look back at it now and I think, wow.
That's mad. What was your dad telling you at this point? Was he telling you to get out and have fun and that? Or
Well, it's funny. My mum and dad were divorced eventually.
right, okay.
Yeah, so they started divorcing about 11.
Mhm.
And dad was a bit of a prick, to be honest. Even though, like, I get on with him and stuff, but with the boxing side, he didn't really get involved. But it was my mum that pretty much did everything for me.
Do you wish you had your dad's back and then?
No, I had good people like Jim Egan's, Steve, Sean, Mark Greenley, Paul Donnelly, Jim Egan before he died, gave me a good base. So I was in good hands, like, with the people around me. This is what I mean. So even though my mum and dad were divorced, and like I could have easily gone down the bad road, I've been arrested, I've done this, I could have easily gone down the bad road. I had great role models at the gym. And like I'm saying, they nipped it in the bud. Like, I did get arrested. It got back to the gym that I'd been arrested. Willow Park was going on about giving me an ASBO and all that as at 10 years old. And they went, look, Macaulay, you won't be able to come to this gym anymore.
So
So
it's like a choice.
Yeah, it was.
And when you said about the pro, when you kind of questioned it, what was it about that made you question, is this something that I even want to do?
Because I remember sparring Matty Hall. Matty Hall was Commonwealth champion, I think, a few years before, and he was a big, strong, horrible man. I remember he hit me with a body shot, and I was like, oh, and then he hit me with a right hand over the top, and he buzzed me a bit, and then he hit me with another body shot. And like, normally as an amateur, I could find a way to like get through, like, someone who's dead strong. Like, I weren't the strongest anyway, so if someone was dead strong, I could always find a way to like maneuver or do something so it weren't that much of a big difference. Whereas as a pro, I could just feel the strength and the pressure, and like it made me feel like overwhelmed. I was like, wow. But then week by week, I just keep going back. That's all I knew.
That's mad. It's almost like a delusion in a way, isn't it? Because it's like you're getting battered, or you're taking these things that you feel like these shots that you can't necessarily take, or it's hard to handle, but then you go back again and you go back again. But that's what I'm fascinated with boxing because of that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, when I look at people like yourself, I'm inspired by that though, because it's like, I feel like, because I was never into fighting or not when I was younger, so like when I look at people like you, I've always been inspired by it, because it's something that I deep down probably wished I could have done. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? When I look at lads like yourself, I'm like, fucking hell, I wish I had a bit of that about us. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, there's part of where I say the delusion, where it's like, you're fucking mental, but at the same time, you're actually, you're achieving things in life. When, as a pro, when did things start to change for you? When did you start to become successful as a pro? Like, when did you start to feel like, actually, do you know what? I'm all right here. Like,
you know what, right? I don't think I've ever had that feeling.
Are you not?
No. I was with Frank Warren early on. I was like 10-0, 11-0, or I'd had one draw at this point in a good fight. And then I kind of went off the rails a bit after that.
Did you?
Yeah, for age 22 to 24. I didn't box for 2 years, and then become that fight about 24. And then I've carried on since then, really.
When did you get introduced to money? Because a lot of people don't talk about this in boxing, but I know that a lot of boxers don't make fucking good money.
Yeah.
Have you felt that, like, how tough it is financially as a boxer?
Yeah, massive. Like, so basically, I used to, as the early days as a pro, I used to live at home with my mum, and I had a System 1 bus saver, so I could get on any bus, and at £13.10 a week, and that's with what I had a week. And I'd go home, mum make me tea and all that, and then I'd get a bit of money from fights, so it's worth a lot, because I was only doing 4 or 6 rounders. And then that was it. But then at 21, 22, my daughter was born, my first daughter, my first child, my daughter. And I thought, right, I need to get a job now. So I went and got a job as well, and I've worked ever since.
What were you doing?
I worked for WH Smith at the airport, Manchester Airport.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you still there?
No. I walked out one morning. I had enough. The people, you're working in Terminal 1, and like, no one's got the boarding pass ready. There's been something in the news about you don't actually have to scan your boarding pass. It's a scheme or whatnot. So all it is self-services. No one wants to use the self-service. No one wants to scan the boarding pass. You're just getting shit left, right, and centre. And one day I just walked out. I said, I've had enough.
What? You literally walked out of
Yeah.
in the airport?
Yeah, I just like said, I just went out and said, I never said anything to anyone. Said I'm going for my break, scanned myself out and then went back.
Good to hear, mate.
And my missus was like, we've got a baby at home. And you're just walking out of jobs, you need to grow up. And then I got a job with a dad tarmacking.
Was your missus supportive of your boxing career?
Yeah.
Because the worry's always going to be the money in it for your other half. Like, obviously there's the belief in the want you to do well for you and everything you're trying to achieve, but there's still got to be a level of, we need to make some cash here. Did you feel that pressure as well? Like, if I don't start making good money in this game, I might have to... Yeah,
I think, like, it not being worth it sort of thing. You're spending a lot of time away from your children, your family. Like, even when you are spending time with him, your head's elsewhere, especially if you've got a fight coming up. So you think, you do get a bit older and think, well, it's not really worth it unless I'm making all right money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying I made a lot of money at all, and I've always worked, so I've always been able to give her a weekly wage or provide for the house and do whatever. She works as well, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I do have a fight, it's like, oh, we can do something nice or do something to the house or something like that. Or we got married or stuff, so it's paid. It's not like set me up for life or done anything, but it's paid for extras that we've been able to enjoy with our kids or as a couple.
So you're still working now?
Well, I do one-to-ones downstairs. Right, so I was working as a labourer not long ago until I decided to do this.
It's mad, mate, because I feel like a lot of people who are not necessarily followers of boxing, I understand how the game works, but there's definitely a lot of people who would think someone with a record like yours, and you've had that many fights and that much experience and skin in the game, you wouldn't need a job.
Nah, the boxers are British world champions and they still have to work. It's honestly, it's like the top 1% don't make enough money where they don't have to work again.
So why do you do it?
Because it was never about the money. Never once was it about the money. As an 8-year-old kid, when I went to the gym, did I think about money? Did I think about everyone knowing my name? Did I think about having a blood in blue tick or anything? None of that mattered. I didn't care about anyone's opinion. Why did I do it? Because I just loved doing it. And that was the only reason. It's the still reason now at 30 that I still do it. Because I love it.
And what about all those things that you have got? Like, you've got these little accolades and people know who you are and you've been on TV and you've done this and you've had the, you know what I mean? Like, how does that feel? Has that changed you as a person? Does it feel good? Are you not arsed? Like, how do you feel?
No, there's parts of your ego's always going to be like, oh yeah, but deep down me, it doesn't fucking matter. None of it matters. People know your name, being a boxer, it doesn't fucking matter. As long as I'm a good dad, that's all I care about.
Oh, fair enough, mate. That's unbelievable. What about everything else, mate? Like, how much in your boxing career, how much is predicated on social media and stuff? Because I've met a lot of people who'll do like, they'll go into the misfit scene, or they'll go into the influencer boxing, if you like. A lot of people are trying to create content, they're trying to do things like that. Obviously, that's what I do for a living, so I work with a lot of people doing that. A lot of people say when you're in boxing now, it's just as important to create some kind of social, ultimately you want to market yourself, be able to sell tickets. How much of that would you agree with?
I think it's massive now, isn't it? It's not something I really do a lot of, to be fair. I think I'm quite a funny character at some points, but I probably could do a lot more. But yeah, like when I started boxing, there's no social media. I think Facebook was in its early days of being popular anyway. It was like 08, 09. I think I got Facebook in 2009. Whereas nowadays, like amateurs are like really conscious about the records, amateur boxers. Whereas when we were amateurs, like every week, just fight. If you lost 300 pounds, don't matter, no one cares. On to the next one. Amateurs were just about experience. Whereas now, so you see likes of Jaden Price and all that, who you got to commend them. They're just putting content out there. They're becoming celebrities before they've like been professional or anything like that. So, but that's the way the world is. And there's kids out there who aren't that good of a boxer, but are getting more opportunities, more money and everything else than people who've been doing it since a kid because they do content. Well, I always say, I should have been in the gym on a Friday night. I should have been making content at home, eating what I wanted.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad, but you're right. That's the thing, isn't it?
Honestly, I'm not bitter about it. I'm only just talking about it because, like, obviously we're on that topic of conversation, but I know a lot of fighters who are bitter about it, but I'm not. I'm just like, they do that because that's what they do. I box because that's what I do.
So you wouldn't be interested in having a fight on a misfit?
No, of course. I'd love to have a fight on misfit. I'd fight anyone.
Would you?
Find my nan in a back garden.
I bet you would.
But no, of course, like it's fun in it. It's Misfits is getting big. They're getting better people on it. They're getting MMA fighters, whatever, Xboxers, unlicensed fighters who are making a name for themselves. So I do like the whole concept of it, and it would if I had a massive following and all that. There's something I would be interested in, but I don't aspire to be. I don't think, I wish I had more followers so I could be on Misfits. I just turn up at the gym, do my training, and go home.
Do you, just out of curiosity, do you envy the lads who don't need to get another job? Because for me, like a good mate of mine, he's an athlete, best in the world at what he does. But he's got a load of sponsorship things going on, this, that, and the other. And I was like, wouldn't you be a better athlete if you didn't have to focus on purely the thing? Do you ever look at someone who doesn't have a full-time job and they're a boxer, or they don't have a job and they didn't just purely focus on that? Do you wish you had it like that? Or are you happy to kind of split it up, keep your boxing and have your job and have your family? Like, aye?
Yeah, no, I don't envy it.
Do you not?
Whatsoever, no. I remember when I was a kid, people used to say, "Oh, I could have been a professional, but it was between being a pro boxer or working." I think that's a load of bullshit. Like, if you really want to do it, you'll work as well. But I remember the relief of having a job. It took the pressure off it. It made me enjoy it again. You know, like, oh, I'm working. That covers the bills, covers whatever I need to cover. And the boxing is just mine again. It's not something I'm like, oh, I've got to get this financial. But like you say, in terms of the ones who have the sponsors, well, if they got the sponsors, why do they not have to work from the first pro fight? Because they've been a great, great amateur. If you've dedicated all your early years and become the best of the best as an amateur, then yeah, you do deserve them things. I don't know why there's like, you have an amateur who took the piss most of his amateur career, got pissed, went out, did everything, all the things, turns pro and has to work like everybody else, but then gets jealous because an amateur who's dedicated his whole life to being on Team GB, being away from his family all the time, doing whatever, he goes pro, gets the good deals and everything else, which he deserves, and this kid who was pissing it all up the wall as an amateur is envious.
Yeah, I agree, mate. What about, what's your thoughts on the kind of influence of boxing then? Because I know that there is a lot of pro boxers that do get pissed off at them lads because they're like, I've boxed all my life and they're getting more pay than what I'm getting and they've never stepped in the ring in their life. What's your thoughts on those lads?
Sometimes if you're deep into it, yeah, it can be annoying, but I just think they can choose to do whatever they want to do. Boxing has let them in because boxing's like just ungoverned, like it's the Wild West and anyone can get involved in it. So they've chose boxing. They're just doing that like because they're content creators. What's good content? To have a boxing fight, to train boxing. So whether I don't know, paddle in a few years might be the next big thing. They might all be doing the paddle world games and they'll move on to that. I box because I love it and it's just my passion. So I don't see a problem in it.
How would you compare your discipline, Macaulay, compared to what it was in the amateurs now? Have you still got that same heart?
No, I think it wavered a bit, to be honest. As an amateur, I was like, young pro, mate, it was like, I was ridiculous. But then, as life gets in the way, as you get older, you have kids and this, that, and the other, you know, your discipline does waver a bit, or, I don't know, sometimes you can get disillusioned with the sport, where it does, like, beat you up a bit, where you're like, oh, God. I don't get wrong, like, this is what I'm saying, I have had those moments, but, like, now speaking to me as a 30-year-old man, I don't envy people, it's not, I just think it's all my own doing.
Have you had any dodgy injuries over the years or anything that's put you off where you thought, fucking hell, I could have lost this or this could have happened? Or
No, not really. Going into my last fight, I had a workshop box for the European title. I actually went into that with a broken hand. Not the actual fight, but the training camp, because we got 6 weeks notice. I was actually recovering from a broken hand. And then I got the call to fight for that, and I thought, I'm not missing that opportunity. So most of my training was done with one hand. I mean, that would have made an absolute difference in the fight. The lad was better than me, don't get me wrong. But just like, it just shows I still want it, you know what I mean?
I want to ask you, we mentioned the social media stuff there, Macaulay, and obviously as you turned pro and you kind of, you know, build that career up and build your name for yourself and stuff like that, like, I've known who you were for years, but I never thought it'd be possible to get you on the pod until I spoke to the other lad, and it's nice to have these conversations, mate, because it lets me and the viewers, the listeners, understand the mindset of someone like you. What was it like when you started getting noticed by? Because you must have been noticed by celebrities, other boxers, other people. Like you must have had them nice words, a pat on the back, or DM here. Has that happened to you?
I'm in the boxing circles. I'd say I know a lot of boxers. I wouldn't say, yeah, maybe a few like low celebrities, but nothing, no major, nothing major like, you know what I mean. I've always been in boxing, and like that's just been my role as boxing really. And I think I've always known people boxing, and like the bigger stars, I'd probably know them. But in terms of like big celebrities, and maybe a few years back when I got robbed on Instagram, robbed in my fight on Twitter, that blew up a bit. And then a few years before that, I said, "What Skull City?" and that blew up a bit. And a KSI like messaging, and that was pretty big.
That's mental. That. From the boxing world, then, who would you say is your biggest friend in the boxing world? Most well known?
That was my coach, Joe.
Aye. Is he one of your best mates?
It's hard. It's weird to say like my coach is my best friend, but I think like we have a relationship where like he's my friend, he's my coach. Like we have different roles. Obviously, if I'm training for a fight, he's my coach. That's it. But then like outside the gym, he's my friend. But he's also a colleague as well now, because I actually like pretty much work for him with the coaching side as well, training side. So yeah, he's a lot of different things. But yeah, he's a special person.
I want to talk about your family, because I know that was it one of your kids had a accident or something, or were they born with some?
Yeah, so my son was born with hypoxic-ischemic encephalopathy. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Fucking hell.
Speech is getting bad.
I'll try and spell that.
HIE. So basically, my missus, she had a placenta abruption at birth, giving birth, and it ripped away the placenta, meaning he couldn't have any oxygen. So he had a brain injury at birth due to oxygen deprivation.
So, first and foremost, sorry to hear that, mate.
No, it's fine.
For people who don't understand that, because I don't.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, how does that look?
So
is that his life affected? Is it?
So when that happens, and it was called medium, you can have low, where it happens a bit, your outcome's going to be good. High oxygen deprivation, meaning it's probably not going to be good, but you see a lot of people with cerebral palsy, lots of disabilities, not being able to walk, have to be fed through a tube, stuff like that. And then we were medium, so it was like, could go either way. You don't know. So it had to be cooled. It's called cooling babies. It's called, they call them freezing them, but they're not freezing them. Just lower the temperature down to like 31 degrees, but they are very cold to touch. You're like flipping out. It's lowering from 37 to...
Is this from birth?
Yeah. To stop any additional brain damage.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so then, so we was in intensive care for about 11 days at this point. And I remember just like thinking, my son's not going to be able to walk, he's not going to be able to talk. I was 25, and I was thinking, I was thinking about like boxing. I was still thinking about boxing. I think I remember it. I was watching I think Jack Massey fought someone in the when we were in the hospital. I forgot who it was now. Reactpol, that's it. And I was thinking about boxing all the time. I remember just saying to myself, I don't give a fuck about boxing. All I care about is looking after him for the rest of my life. And that was the decision I made. But then COVID hit a month later, and then a couple of months after that, he gets diagnosed with another thing called craniosteosis, meaning his skull plates have fused too early.
Right.
So if that carries on and the brain carries on growing, then it can really affect his, like, give him normal brain damage. So you're like, oh my God. So then he had to go for a skull surgery at Alderhay when he was just 4 months old. So he's got a big scar on his head.
How is he?
Right. So here's the mad thing. So then he has all this, and then he gets to 11 months old just before his birthday, takes his first steps. Couldn't believe it.
Shut up, man.
Yeah.
Can buzz it.
Yeah, takes his first steps, and then his speech is a bit. He has to have speech therapy, but in terms of like his actual behaviour, his physical attributes and stuff, just like any child.
So you wouldn't know? You wouldn't be able to?
Yeah, it's like, maybe if you spent a bit of time with him, you might figure out he's a little shit, or...
Yeah, right. We all are made of it.
Yeah, but like, no, I come like, it's a miracle.
So how many kids you got? The two?
I've got two, yeah.
You got two.
Yeah.
How do you find fatherhood? Because you're only 30, you got two kids.
Yeah. I've got an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and yeah, it's very hard. I say the first year, just write off. The first year of being a father, just write off. It's a nightmare.
Were you hands-on as a dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when you were boxing and stuff. And
I always made sure I was, yeah. I always
good,
wanted to be as well.
That's brilliant. That, like, do you think there was any kind of, like, obviously, I know any man's going to say, I want to be a good dad.
Yeah.
I know what it's like when I've got a 4-year-old tomorrow, funny enough. And it's like I spend a lot of time on my business and stuff, and I was hands-on as well. It was something I wanted to do. But do you think where do you think that comes from? Like, what's the reason that, because it's easier for someone who's a boxer to be less hands-on. Yeah. What's the reason why you were wanting to be hands-on? Obviously, I know that, again, any bloke can say, I want to be hands-on with my kids, but...
I don't know, maybe, don't know, you got to be a good dad. Like, some people are good dad because their dad was a good dad, so I want to be. Whereas I want to be a good dad in spite of my dad. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm going to stop this fucking... I'm going to stop, like, this, what do you call it?
Like a cycle.
Yeah, they stopped this cycle. And I remember reading like a book. I read lots of books and like philosophical stuff and fucking mindset and self-help and that. And I remember, was it a president? He used to have signed his desk that said the book stops here. Like, everyone passes the book, but it stops here. And I thought, when it comes to me and being a good dad and being a good person, I thought the book stops here. I'm not blaming anyone else. It's on me. So I just try and be the best. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect by any shot, but no one is.
Where the fuck do you get your wisdom from? Because for 30-year-old, mate, like I'm 35, mate. You kind of got a good head on your shoulders. Like, where does that come from?
I just get obsessed with stuff.
Yeah.
So like philosophy and mindset and just all different things. I just like to read, and if something like grabs me attention, I think, I'm gonna read more about that, and then I try and like apply it to my life, like stoicism and stuff like that.
So, boxing now, have you become more of a fan of boxing because you are obviously where you are? I know you said when you didn't really watch it and stuff. Do you watch boxing now?
Yeah, massive. Yeah.
Who are you looking at and thinking, I'm a big fan of them?
I was always a big fan of Kell Brook. Let me think. Who do I look at? I don't know, I should say people in the gym, really. But I like Ryan Garner. He's very good. He won the European the other day. There's not really much. If they were on in the morning, would I stay up and watch him? Who would I stay up and watch? I don't know. I am a fan of it, though.
I know.
Like, I'm making out that I'm not a fan, but there's no one I think. Like, I was a massive fan of Carl Frampton. It comes in waves. Like, I'm a massive fan, and then for a while I'm not. I watch it, but I'm not invested as much, and then I'll become a massive fan again.
Yeah.
And then it just comes in cycles. So maybe at the moment I'm on the cycle where I still watch it. I'll watch every show possible, even the smaller ones, VIP boxes, deep blood shows, but in all of the ones, and because everyone's got a link now for the small, so I'll be watching it on a Saturday night, some random show of another guy beating another journeyman for 40-36. That'd be me. So, but in terms of like, who do I get really excited for? I don't know. I'm a fan of Dave Allen, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to kind of your career, if you look over it up to this point, what's been your like biggest moment for you?
You know what? My biggest moments have always been really my losses, and that really, because they've been the biggest fights, but always enjoyed them. I think I remember boxing Sergio Martinez, a 2-time world champion. So in 2010, when I won the junior ABAs when I was 15, Sergio Martinez was undisputed middleweight champion who got Ring Magazine knockout of the year against Paul Williams. And then all them years later, I'm fighting him. So
fucking mad.
I boxed him at the Wizink Arena in Madrid. I remember getting my eyes done beforehand for my boxing board medical. And the guy was from Madrid who was doing it. And he said, he said, where are you boxing? So I said, the Wizink. That's a massive arena. So I knew it was going to be big, and then I fought 2-time world champion. I was standing over the side of the ring from him. I'm thinking, it doesn't look real. Like, it didn't look real that I was in the ring fighting Sergio Martinez. So
like, even to you,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Like, don't get me wrong, I was well in thinking I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to do it because he's 46. I was a young bull. Don't get me wrong, he's like a grandmaster there, young bull. He played us really. But in terms of like me wanting to win and all that, I fully thought, yeah, this is it. But even looking at him on the other side of the ring, thinking, this is weird. This.
So was your last loss Tyler Denny?
No, my last loss was Abbas Barrow.
Right, okay.
He trained at the Adam Booth gym for a bit, and I think he trains with Ismail Salas now.
Mm-hmm.
That was for the European title.
And just out of curiosity, again, I know the answer might be obvious, but how does it make you feel when you lose at this stage?
It's an awkward one for me because I'm not really signed to anyone. I haven't really got a massive promoter backing and stuff, so I've got to take my opportunities as they come. And I'm kind of in between like a rock and a hard place. Like the ones that about my level that I could beat, I won't get that opportunity to fight them because like I am a bit of a high risk, low reward. But the really, really good ones who are probably always favourite to beat me, they're the opportunities I'll get. But because I'm a boxer, I'll be like, well, I'm going to take that. I'm going to beat that. But the Abbas Barrow one, I can take him, when I lose, I can take him pretty well. Because if you give it everything, there's not really much else you can do. And I always like to think the losses, I give it everything. And I just weren't good enough on the night. So, but it does linger at me for a while. Straight away, I can just knock it back. Oh, here's what it is. Like, we go again. But then over time, it can fester a bit. Like, what if I did this? What if I just did that?
Do you ever watch your fights back?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Do you? I know some people not watch any losses. You watch?
No, I'm watching back, yeah. Yeah, watching back. And I think, because if I just did that, if I just did this, or maybe I should have done this more.
Who do you want to fight? Who would you like to fight?
I'd like to win the British title.
Mm-hmm.
And that's vacant at the moment. So luckily I don't have to sit here and call anyone out. But no, that's at light middleweight, super welter. So yeah, whoever's got that really.
So, you know when you're saying like you're not signed with anyone, what's stopping you, getting with a Wasserman or a Macho, whoever it is? Like what?
Because I'm 30 years of age, I've got no titles, I'm not a big massive on social media and whatnot, and it's not like I've had a run of wins where like I've beat a load of good people and thought, we need to sign him up. I'm just like, then I'm just in that place where like, I'm a bit of a character, I can fight a bit, and they're just like, if they need an opponent for someone, I'll get him in. But I'm more than an opponent. I've never ever gone with the mentality that I'm just the opponent. I've gone with the mentality I'm going to rip up the script here. But it's just a few have evaded us at the moment.
Do you think you've got to almost be a bit of a shit talker? Get a bit of name for yourself?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think you got to be a bit of shit talker. Don't get me wrong, I can talk shit. I can talk a lot of shit. And there was a 5 years back when I was fighting Conway where I only took it on a few days' notice. All week I talked shit. I did interviews, acting daft. I did all this mad shit. I asked the City score in the corner. And I remember my profile went pretty big after that. I thought, wow, I've lost. But because I've talked shit, I've done this and done that. Like, my profile's actually got pretty bigger from this. So
what's your plans? What do you want to do? Like, obviously, I know you want the British and stuff, but where do you see your career? Because I'm just gonna like you're 30-year-old. Like,
yeah.
How many years have you got? Like, where do you want?
3 years left. I just see myself being British champion, going from there and keep pushing it and see how far I can go.
Would you be happy to finish on a British?
Oh yeah, massive. I'd be happy to finish. No, of course, British champion. Yeah, like some people say. I remember being a kid, and I remember going pro early days, and people used to say, "Oh, what do you want to be?" And I say, "I want to be world champion." But keep down, I weren't even thinking that far ahead. And I know some people are obsessed. They're going to be world champion. They know it from a kid. I'm going to be world champion, but I wasn't. I just wanted to take each day as it comes, and just live my life that way, and turn up for training, do my best, go home, do me run, get my head down at night, and rest and repeat, and then see how far I could go. I've never had that, but then somewhere along the line you think, I've got to be ambitious. I've got to have a 5-year plan. I've got to have a 10-year plan. And plans are good, but what happens when the plan doesn't come off? I'll be in the moment. I've done a lot of things in my life where I think, I wish I just enjoyed that more. You know what I mean? So I just try and enjoy it now. I know I haven't got loads left, so I just think, I'm just going to enjoy it.
It's quite refreshing to hear that, like, to be fair, because not many people would probably come out and say, I just took it as it comes. Like, a lot of people say that I always wanted, since I was a kid, I wanted to be.
Don't get me wrong, you have them moments where you're like, you see someone on TV and you think, oh, I want to be world champion, of course I do. And you think of all the money and this, that, and the other, and things that come along with it. You wouldn't want to be world champion, get world championship money, of course. But did I obsess about every day? And I obsessed about being in the gym at night. I was really obsessed about that. Beating the sparring partner, beating my mate who would go to school with. I was obsessed about that, making sure he didn't beat me on the run. But was I obsessed about, and the junior ABA championships, I wanted to win them bad, to be fair. But in terms of like long-term goals of, one day I'll be world champion, this, that, the other, I didn't really obsess about it. I always liked the thought of being like a Ricky Hatton and selling out arenas and being like a face of the people and whatnot. But I didn't really think too much about how far I would go in terms of titles and whatnot.
You did. It's odd because you mentioned your highlights being like the losses. Really,
Yeah.
What's been your lowest point in your career or life?
Yeah, probably when my son was born. That was a really low point. And then I went on a 3-loss streak after that.
Right, I see. So
Yeah.
it was like everything was fucking crumbling for you.
No, so it's like, so basically what happened is my son was born in December. He had an operation on his head in April. I had no business, and it was lockdown. I had no business being in the ring in any time soon. And then I boxed in November against the Kazakhstan international fucking whatever he was. The next big thing, the next Lomachenko, and he absolutely battered us. He was Wakefield, he was in lockdown, no one was there, and I got absolutely battered. I was having therapy the week before on the phone.
Mad.
I remember I thought I shouldn't be having this therapy, but something had happened in my life where like I needed it, and I thought if I don't take this and anything happens, then the board will say you can't fight if I don't complete this or whatever. It never got to that point, but I did. I remember having it the week before, finishing my therapy, and I was fine a week later. And I remember being in the hotel room, because you had to be in your hotel room for like, it was like quarantine. You couldn't go out your hotel room or whatever for 2 days, just overthinking everything. I was like, why am I here?
What goes through your mind when you're doing the ring walk?
Different things every time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you always present in the moment then?
Uh,
Are you nervous? Are you a bit scared? Are you thinking, am I good enough? Are you having imposter syndrome? Do you know you're going to, like...
Nah, you know what, right? To be fair, by the time the rim walk comes on, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is it.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoy that bit, yeah. This is fucking... when I boxed Conway at Wembley, it was an AG undercard. I come out of always on time. So that one's kind of stuck to our rule of Shanty.
Min tune as well.
Because I got the call in for like 4 days' notice. So just thought, what would be a good tune? And me and my missus were in the kitchen deciding what tune shall I come out to. And I would like go in the hallway, and then I'd walk in as like the tune kicked in, as if like I was walking out. And she'd go, right, that looks good, that looks good.
Shut up, man. Is that what you actually do? Like a rehearsal in the kitchen? Yeah. That's good mint, that.
Yeah, and then like I walk in and I'll pretend, and she was shaking her head at me. But the one that she suggested, always on time. I was like, that'd just be pretty funny, won't it? And then it was like, always there when you call. And then the song come on at Wembley Arena. And like, I was like, I mean, there was only about 1,000 people there because of the lockdown. And I remember it coming on, I thought, this is a fucking tune, this. And I started dancing to the ring.
It's fucking mad.
Yeah.
Would you ever go at bare knuckle?
I don't know.
I think you've got that look about you, like.
Yeah, I think maybe. One day.
Is that something after boxing?
I don't know. It's just something that I wouldn't shut the door on. I wouldn't right now think, yeah, I want to do it. Like, I need to do that. That's a bucket list. It's not. It's just like, would I ever shut the door and like possibly do it? No.
I know you said when you were younger, kind of going through the amateurs, you didn't get tested. Have you been tested now? Like on the streets, or anyone trying to pick you out, or like, so you think you're a boxer? Are you like, you get the arseholes, then you're everywhere. Have you ever came across anyone like that?
I can't say that. In women's show, I know people can say it's a hostile place or whatever, but I've never experienced that. Maybe because I've always been a boxer since I was a kid, and I've kind of always got on with everyone. But I've never actually experienced that. No one's ever really. I think I had my last fight when I was like year 8. But it's like 30.
Because just for the people who don't know Wythenshawe, like, what is the environment like? Because obviously you still live here. Like, yeah. Is it a dodgy place? Is it rough? Is there a lot of gun crime? Is there a lot of all that? Because when I'm from Sunderland, mate, so when I hear Manchester, people say Gunchester and all kinds of shit. So you just think,
it's
all that. So what's it like Wythenshawe?
Wythenshawe is good, but I think it has had its like but like anyways, it's a bigger council estate than most places, so it's always gonna have its fair share of problems. But going back to before, so when I smashed up that car, with a group of lads, that lad 3 years later was stabbed, murdered.
Really?
Yeah, John Muldowney. So
Bloody hell.
and he was a life and soul. He was well beyond his years. He died at 18, but he was way beyond his years.
And what was that over? Just some
Stupid stuff. Ended up losing his life over stupid stuff. But like, to people out on the outside looking in, like, oh, 18-year-old scallywag got stabbed, died. Well, that's what happens. But to us, he was just a fucking great kid. Like, he was someone that we looked up to. So like probably me, because I'm so close to being in women's show, that I just see everything as like, everyone's great. You know what I mean? Everyone's great. Whereas from the outside looking in, they probably look as like, wow, fucking, they're rough, aren't they? These are rough. Look at them fucking roughins. Maybe because like I realised, yeah, as a young kid, we had this cat, and the cat ended up moving to the house down the road.
The cat?
Yeah. That guy must have been feeding it better food.
Aye.
But I thought they were the rough ones. And I realised my cat fucked off.
It's fucking you.
We're the rough ones.
That's how you know if your cat can...
Yeah, they must have been giving it pedigree chum. We were only feeding it as the own.
Fucking hell. But I think that paints the perfect picture, mate, because a lad who you used to knock around with got stabbed over stupid shit. And again, the reason why it's important to mention these things, because for me, I want to paint a picture of Macaulay Mcgowan. That's what I want to do. I want people to understand that actually, do you know what, like, these places where people are from are fucking real. It's not a movie, do you know? This is real life. It's really going on. So to see you still at your boxing, obviously you've done the tarmac and stuff, you've worked at WH Smith, you've obviously had a fucking family when you were young.
Worked at McDonald's as well.
Oh yeah? When you did?
No, I was about 9.
Shoot yourself, mate. Chicken mule last week.
might have done. Do it part-time.
Is this it now for you, the boxing? Or would you ever see you going back into employment in anywhere? I know obviously you're doing your one-to-one stuff, but it's still boxing, so it's like, would you ever see yourself going elsewhere out of this realm now, or is this it? Like, you want to kind of retire as a boxer and hopefully just...
Yeah, I think because Joe, my coach, gave me a role in the gym, like helping training fighters, doing the corners, got me seconds, badges, so I'm doing a lot of that. I do see myself doing this probably forever now, but then there's parts of me where I think, could I just turn my back on it all and start a whole different life?
You're crazy, you know, some of that shit. Like, I get you though. It's weird, mate, because I know what you mean. It's.
I hate feeling trapped by stuff, so to know that it's my choice to go one day, see you later, and go and do something else.
Gives you power, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
because it gives me the power back.
Would you want your kids to box?
No. Nope.
Why?
I just think it's a dogged business. I just think I'm saying it as if I'm bitter. I'm not. I'm just saying it from a like objective point of view. Like, I just think the business, the head trauma, just loads of different things.
Because I think that's the one thing that worries me, head trauma. Do you think about it actively? Like, are you like, fuck, I could end up...
Yeah. So, I don't know how I carried on boxing after my son was born. Obviously, he had brain damage. I don't know how I can put that aside and still carry on doing what I'm doing.
Actively getting punched in the air.
Yeah. Like, he got brain damage from something that weren't his fault, or just like acts of God or whatever, just the world. And yet I'm purposely going into the ring and getting punched in the head. And I just think, it's something that tears me up every day. Like, boxing, like, since that, I don't know how I've done it.
What did your missus say when you had your son and obviously went through all that stuff, mate? Again, sorry to hear that. It's fucking horrible. But again, you're clearly the right role model to be a dad of someone like that because of what you've done and how you've persevered. And I think it's fucking brilliant, that, mate, for any young man in the world. Was your missus trying to encourage you to stop? Like,
No. She loves it more than I do.
Really?
She knows it gives me direction, and she knows that, like, I can get bored easy. So I think she knows when I'm boxing, when I'm eating healthy, and when I'm doing my runs and everything, I'm at my happiest. So she just thinks, go with that. Keep doing that.
So right now, how are you living day to day? Are you dedicated? Are you training as a pro? Just doing what you're doing, waiting for a fight? What's going on?
So I'm non-stop. I'm absolutely non-stop. So obviously Joe's got treatment at the moment for his cancer. So I'm at the gym early, training from like 7 in the morning. And then I'm helping do the session for the other lads in the gym, the professionals. Then I'm straight back here for one, and then I'm doing 1-to-1 till about 7 at night.
Bloody hell, so you're all go. And do you think you'll get out soon?
Yeah, probably be out October.
Have you got any confirmation or no?
There was a local show in October, which I'm looking to get on. So I've no confirmation, but it'll just be a small hall local show in Manchester that I'll box in.
And how do you feel about that? Because for me, and again, I know how it works, so I feel like you deserve more than a small show at this stage.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way, or you're like, look, it's part and parcel of it? Like,
I accepted it a long time ago. Like, this is the game that we're in. It's up to me now to do the next fight, win it, sell my tickets, win a few more, and then when I get the opportunity on the TV to grab it with both hands and win and get it over a line and carry on, winner stays on sort of thing. So I kind of accepted it, to be honest. Like, I don't know why fighters complain about it. We know what we're getting ourselves into. I do feel sorry for the younger kids coming through because they don't really know what they're getting themselves into. But lads like me who are 30 or 20 odd who've done it for years, they know what it's about. If you lost on the big card at your opportunity, you go back to the smaller and you got to rebuild, and that's just the way the game goes.
So are you in that moment now of rebuilding your name, your brand, your career?
Yeah.
So where you're at?
So I am boxing over a year, but in that year I've been in the corners for world title fights. I've been in Saudi. I've been doing my own corners, stuff like that. So it's not like I've had a wasted year. I've had probably one of the best years of my life.
A lot of travelling and that as well, and experience. I think that's the thing as well, isn't it? It's about being able to experience boxing for what it is, not just being there fighting all the time. I think there is that living in the moment, enjoying yourself, piece as well, isn't there? Like, which you don't want to fucking miss out on ultimately. So I think it's just, I don't know, I feel like, I understand what you mean about rebuilding and stuff, but I do sometimes look at, not just you, there's other lads who I know or I've spoke to, and I'm like, fucking hell, you've been boxed that long, you deserve something. Because the talent's undeniable. That's the thing. It's, I know anything can happen on the night ultimately, but still though, your record's clearly heavy.
Yeah.
In a good way. Do you know what I mean? It's now to be laughed at that. So it's like, when you look at that, you think, but then I think it was, I don't know, it might have been your box rack, inactive.
Yeah.
And it's like, fucking hell, you want to be out the ring here?
Yeah.
That's it. It's now in real life, it's fucking...
Well, the boxers are inactive.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, but at the same time, I kind of understand, but hopefully you get a nice win here, mate, in October, if you fight, and then go on to fucking bigger and better things, mate.
No, definitely. No, that's what I plan on do. I'm in the final few years of my career out, so just give it everything I've got, and yeah, hopefully.
I mean, mate, even if you give yourself a little 34, that's enough to become British champion.
Fucking of course it is, yeah.
And much further.
We'll do it in a few months.
I know, that's what I mean.
By the end of the year, British champion.
Can you imagine that? It's fucking crazy. Do you have a plan D or not a plan D, but something to do after boxing?
Right. Yeah. You know what, right? I give myself the permission to enjoy boxing, right? Because I think I could be happy just being a builder, being a labourer on site. So if that's the worst it's going to be for me, which I actually enjoy, then I'll just go for it. I'll just go for it with the boxing. I'm not really stressed about anything else. And then if that's my baseline, just being a labourer, which I'm actually quite happy doing, if it crap with the lads, do whatever I'm doing and go home to my kids, then I can give it everything to boxing. I can try myself at other things as well because I'm happy doing that. So like, it kind of gives me the freedom just to explore other things.
Do you think, because that mindset is massively positive, like that is, because if you think the worst thing you can do with something you enjoy, then anything's a fucking bonus. Yeah. Do you think you've got that mindset from when you had your son? Almost like life can be fucking hard, look how lucky I am type of thing? Yeah,
I always think it can be negative as well, because I always think when I go to these, like say when I lost to Tyler Denny, it was a split point decision, and I think I was never going to get that look, and I think all my luck was used up with my son. Everyone's got this bucket of luck in their life that they're due. I think all my luck come on my son. I wouldn't change it for the world. So for anything I'm going to get, I'm going to have to work very, very hard to get. So it did change my mindset in that way, yeah. But it can also be a negative too. To walk around thinking, you're not going to get any luck, you're not going to get anything you deserve. It's kind of a negative as well. But I don't see it as a negative. I just think, no, all my luck, anything that I've deserved in a lifetime went on him. So the rest is...
See, I see that as the way I look at that is, you've been so that bucket of luck that you say, it's a nice analogy, but it's like you've been blessed within, so you're clearly a blessed person.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go on to better things. That's how I look at it. I don't think you've used it all. You kind of, do you know what I mean? Because that is fucking negative.
Yeah.
But I think that you've clearly shown that luck can work for you.
Yeah.
Because that is fucking, for him to pull through, mate. Because that could have been completely different.
Yeah. And he's at school. He's doing well. He's just, he's crazy. Yeah.
No, mate, I'm buzzing. But Macaulay, thank you so much for coming on, mate.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. The first time doing one of these, and I'm glad it's been with you.
Oh, cheers, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you, mate.